Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the deep dive. We're looking at something really pressing today, the just incredible scale of data breaches we're seeing lately. It's something we've been thinking about a lot, looking at the current landscape. And this deep dive is brought to you by Access Softtech, the premier provider of digital banking solutions.
Yeah, it's almost hard to, you know, wrap your head around the numbers, especially just in 2024 so far. The scale is, well, it feels unprecedented.
Absolutely. I mean, we were looking at just a partial list, and it's already staggering. Like reports of national public data, 2.9 billion records compromised. Just pause on that number for a sec.
2.9 billion. And that's just one incident, like you said, on a partial list. You add Ticketmaster, what was it, 560 million, Change Healthcare, 145 million.
AT&T too, 73 million. Dell, 49 million.
Right. And the list keeps going. We're talking billions and billions across just a handful of big ones this year.
That 2.9 billion figure, it really hammers home how much sensitive information is just out there, potentially. It makes it so clear that being security first isn't, just a nice to have phrase anymore. It feels like a basic survival need now.
Exactly. And what we realize thinking about this, it's not just the breaches themselves, as bad as they are. It's the other factors, the
Yeah.
things that make using that stolen data so incredibly effective for the fraudsters.
Right. We kind of honed in on three things that really seem to compound the problem. First, this idea of cooperating members within the fraud ecosystem. What does that actually look like?
Well, it means these criminal groups aren't really acting alone much these days. They specialize. So, like, one group might handle the phishing, getting the initial access. Another actually extracts the data. Then maybe another sells it, and another uses automated tools to exploit it immediately. They basically work together. It's like a well-oiled, but totally malicious supply chain. Makes everything more efficient for them, harder for us to stop.
Which kind of flows into the second point, doesn't it? This no-risk business model for fraud attempts once they actually have the data.
Exactly. Think about it. The biggest risk for the fraudster is often getting caught during the initial breach.
Hmm.
But once they have that database, billions of records, using it to try and take over accounts or make bogus transactions, that part carries surprisingly little risk for them at that specific moment. It's like, they've already cracked the safe. Now they're just grabbing the cash, and the chance of getting caught for that specific grab is pretty low, which of course makes the data itself incredibly valuable.
Okay, so low risk for trying things,
Mm.
and then you add the third factor, real-time, fully automated transfers.
Yet this is absolutely crucial. It means when a fraudster gets hold of compromised data, account details, personal info, whatever, they're not sitting there manually trying a few transfers. No, no. They're using bots, automated scripts, testing credentials across tons of platforms all at once, and bam, when they get a match, the transfer or the transaction happens instantly.
Hmm.
There's no real delay. The money, the assets, whatever it is, it's gone before any human can really step in.
Wow. So, okay, massive data pools out there, criminals working together efficiently, very little risk in trying to exploit the data once they have it, and machines moving money instantly. That paints a pretty challenging picture for, individuals and organizations.
It certainly does. It really underlines the need for a different kind of defense, a more proactive one.
Which brings us to the takeaway, right, for you listening. Given this whole landscape, huge breaches, cooperating criminals, low-risk exploitation, instant automation, what should you actually do?
Well, the main thing this suggests is when you're, let's say, product shopping, could be for a bank, an online service, anything handling your sensitive info, you need to look past just the standard security checkboxes. You should actively look for security innovations you haven't seen before.
Right, because if the attackers are using automated, low-risk, real-time methods, then security that just waits to spot slow, manual fraud after the fact, it's probably not going to cut it anymore, is it?
Exactly.
So what might that look like? Maybe things like really advanced behavioral analytics or real-time anomaly detection that's smarter than just simple rules, multi-layered authentication that's hard for bots to bypass, basically security that's built specifically to fight these modern automated attacks.
hmm It boils down to having defenses that are, frankly, smarter and faster than the automated attacks coming at you.
And that discussion led us to this really striking analogy we were considering. You know the one. When you're being chased by lions, you don't have to be the fastest runner. You just have to not be the slowest in the herd.
It's a stark image, yeah, but it kind of fits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In this world with billions of records breached, fraudsters operating fast and with low risk, the easiest targets, the ones with the weakest defenses, they're the ones who get hit first. So being not the slowest here means having demonstrably better security than the most vulnerable systems out there.
And that's really the thought we wanted to leave you with today, mull over that analogy. With the sheer scale of these breaches and the automation involved, what does it actually mean for you, for your accounts, your data, maybe your business, to not be the slowest gazelle? What level of security innovation does that really demand? And maybe, just maybe, in a world with so many fast, hungry lions, it's just not being the slowest actually enough anymore.
It's definitely a question worth some serious thought as you navigate, well, everything digital today.
Indeed it is. That wraps up this deep dive. Thanks for tuning in.